All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out and sticking around here. Welcome back to the stream, though. I am Raw Zim, and this is Ebon Sales Exalted, Season 1, Episode 14. Let the war begin. Do remember to check out the description down below where you can find our link tree, which provides links to our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. Of course, for those that are watching this on YouTube, do keep in mind that you can always come over and join us live here on Twitch. And for those that are new, don't forget to come on by, or to go check the playlist on the YouTube channel, where you can find recaps at the beginning of each video. Now, first off, everybody needs to update their Discord reactive. I see a couple have not yet. Second off, I'm going to turn it over to... well, Murder's not here, so he couldn't talk anyways to really do the recap in a very timely manner, but... let's see. We will do a recap from Guaco, I think. Alsong, to answer that question real quick before Toshime gets started, we are actually doing Exalted Essence, the new system that they put out for playtesting through Kickstarter. We've got a lot of new players to the system in general. I am rather new myself. Kerr is very well experienced, our storyteller. But
I started in first edition.
Yeah, he started in first edition. But yeah, it's just easier for newer players to get into.
Exalted Essence is the sort of on-ramp for third edition. The thing is, though, it's also a very good system to use. It streamlines a lot of the issues, like it fixes the crafting system in third edition, which is, this is my opinion, but it's very well kind of echoed throughout the community. The crafting system in third edition is absolute dog shit. They fix all that. Crafting is actually very interesting and good in Essence, which I like a lot. They add a couple of new things like the task system. I'm trying to remember the exact term. That's kind of what I use to remember it. But whenever you do something that's an extended action, like you're chasing someone down, or you're navigating through this jungle to get to the village you're trying to get to, it sets up a system that's very easy, very intuitive, and very, very fun to do to overcome this. I am going to be assimilating that whenever I play third edition. I'm using that system from now on, because I think it's fantastic. They worked on the combat system a little bit. I do like third edition's combat. I think it's pretty fun, pretty okay. There are things in third edition, though, that I think are not exploitive, but clearly more powerful than everything else. And if you know the system and know how to work it, you can make characters that are very, very difficult to beat, and that are just kind of clearly better than everyone else at the party, even if the other person is more focused on that role than you are. So Essence, I think, fixes some of that. It really does help a lot with how the combat works and runs. It's sort of a refinement of third edition, with making it a little bit more streamlined and simple, without taking away a lot of things. Also, you can play anyone in Essence. You can play Dragonbloods, you can play Sidereals, you can play Abyssals, you can play some of the new ones that they've introduced in third edition, but we haven't actually gotten to really see yet, like the Gitlamane. So I really like that. I
They also
love that.
added new exalted types.
Yes, they added new exalted types that don't exist anywhere else. They are not technically canon, but they've worked them into the canon where if you want to include them in your canon, this is how you do it, which is very awesome, very cool. I really love that a lot. There's so many different kinds of exalted you can play. Essence gives you rules to play all of them, and I've been going through like every week, kind of a bit more going through them, and
What are
it's
the-
like,
What are the
Chosen
new
Oh.
of
types?
Serenity.
the Gitlamanes are one of the new ones added to third edition. They're the basically the anti-sidereals. They want to basically they come from a creation that never existed, and they want to turn creation into their world. To them, creation is like a fallen world, and all these glorious good things that they know about never happened, and they never existed. So they want to try to bring creation back up, and basically in their mind save it and make it better.
And you see what Song put in chat?
Yes, Chosen of Serenity, Sidereal, the Maid of Serenity, aka she has a little bit of a bad reputation, but she's really not that bad. They're meant to spread love and joy through creation, to bring people together, to ensure that love happens the way it's meant to happen. But they are still reality bending super ninjas who can yeet you from one side of creation to the other.
On my
Um,
for me, one thing that I really like about Essence is the fact that you're not bound to like for my character in this session, I am playing a lunar, but I wanted him to command armies. In third edition, lunars get jack diddly squat for commanding armies through charms and such.
Their charms are really bad when it comes to that. Like, compared to like a solar or even like a dragon blood, their charms are just like not really that great. They're okay. I mean, they're still exalted charms. If you go up against a mortal army, you're gonna fucking crush them. I mean, you're an exalted. But compared to like solar or dragon blood charms, it's like they don't feel as good. They don't feel as effective. And that's true. That's not really the lunars necessarily role to be. They were made to be the assassins, the information gatherers. That's where their strengths really shine at. But if you want to play a lunar who wants to be like a leader of an army, it's difficult to do that and still feel like you are as good as everyone else. And as Zim said, I agree. I think Essence solved a lot of those problems. One of the things Essence did is they took a lot of the jack of all trade charms that like everyone sort of has and basically said like any exalted can pick these charms. And then for certain exalted, some of them have special modes that only that exalt can use. So yes, every exalt gets like monkey leap technique, but for each group of exalted, monkey leap technique works a little bit differently. So, and they also have little names differences just to make it flavorful. So it's really nice because it's like, but then you also have each exalt has their own group of personal charms that only they can take. Like these are like adamantine fists of battle for like the solar. This is one of their brawl charms. They are the only ones who can take adamantine fists of battle.
I have a verbatim recollection. I can mimic your voice.
That yeah, he's playing a one of the alchemicals, one of the magical super androids.
I'm just playing Shiro Ogami basically at this point.
He's playing an infernal. And we have a solar who is from a dragon blood family here.
Bard Chosen of Serenity. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
As everyone does it, because you mind control them to do it. One of the a song, you'll understand this. My biggest complaint for second edition, which was the main edition I played in. Second edition is I kind of learned first edition, but we got second edition literally like right when I was starting to get into it. So most of what I did was second edition, though I started with first. Second edition's biggest problem is it was rock attack. You did not have a choice. You had to take a perfect defense. If you did not take a perfect defense in second edition, there was a very, very strong chance you could get one shots. That was probably like the biggest danger in second edition is if you get attacked by someone and you don't have a perfect defense ready, you are probably going to die because of how many dice they could roll and how easy it was to damage people. It wasn't like in third edition and Essence where they have to do like the withering damage and build up power first. No, they just go straight for your health bar. And you guys have seen how many dice you roll. That's what they roll. And you only have usually like 7 levels of health normally, unless you take Ox Body Technique. So it was basically mandatory to always max out Ox Body Technique and to always have at least one perfect defense charm, which means having to go at least like 3 or 4 charms into melee or dodge, which is a very, very big charm tax for basically every character to have, even if your character would never do combat.
I'm still surprised alchemicals don't have a limit.
For charms?
Yeah, there was something that like we brought up earlier. I was like, hey, how many of these can I put on?
Yeah,
I don't know what my limit is.
I was going through it. I could not find a limit in the book.
It's because it's how big do you want your character to be?
Yeah. Normally, I believe there was a limit. I think it was like 3 or 4 times your current essence. But I literally scoured the book. I could not find a limit in the book for how many essence you can have installed at any one time. And I'm wondering if that might be an oversight on the book because essence is a simpler version for the game. So that is my likely guess is they're making it simple and easy for the new players. Because that's what Essence is meant to be the game where the new people who are joining and learning the game can get into it and learn it. And it makes it easier for them to do so.
Oh, hey there, Jaffer.
Hey, Jaffer.
You get everything worked out?
But yeah, when it comes to... I'm sorry, Jaffer.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm also glad you're here.
Song, you speak my language. I was the person who could create an Essence 5 character at character creation and basically be an unstoppable killing machine who, if I wanted to be. Normally I did not, but I was also the person who kind of had to carry our group because everyone else didn't know really what they were doing and the DM liked to throw really hard stuff at us. So I was sort of the person who was babysitting everyone, and it's like, okay, everyone can go have their play dates. I'm sorry, you just hurt my babies. Prepare to die. But Song, do you know what the creation slaying oblivion kick is?
Real quick, I do want to also point out something major that Essence changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 3 Fs, the abilities, I think they are.
Oh yes, that is actually important. That is I don't have the character sheet up.
The attributes. So force, yes. Finesse, and fortitude have replaced your attributes. So you basically, instead of having your attributes spread across 9 different things, you've only got 3. And you choose how you flavor things.
Yes.
So like Nevis, my character, is focused on finesse. So basically, almost everything I roll is finesse plus athletics, awareness, close combat, etc., etc.
As long as you can, and the actual book actually states too, should the players be allowed to roll their best stat all the time? And it says specifically in the book, yes. As long as the players roleplay and flavor their reactions and what they're doing to fit the scenario, what's going on, yes, they should be allowed to roll their best stats always. Which is why I will usually tell you guys just to roll an ability instead of an attribute as well, because you guys can choose which attribute you'll roll usually.
As long as you don't have foot in mouth.
Yes. Song, to answer the little question though I asked you, the term the creation slaying oblivion kick is a fan made up term from second edition. And this is a fun little story for anyone who's ever played Exalted. Toshime recognized it. And you can't do it in third edition currently. They did not give us the ability yet to do it. We're waiting for the Sidereal book to come out. And then we're going to see if we can pull it off. The Creation Slaying Oblivion kick works by combining a group of solar charms with a set of sidereal martial arts. Solars can learn sidereal martial arts so long as they have a trainer. The charm Eyes of the Unconquered Sun is the main charm that you need to do this. What that charm allows you to do is you can see out as far as you can in any one direction. Creation is flat. So if you climb to the highest point in creation, which is Mount Muru, which is the mountain in the center of the world, if you climb to the top of Mount Muru and look out, you can theoretically see basically into the wild in whatever direction you're looking at. And what this allows you to do is there is a set of sidereal martial arts that when you basically punch, instead of doing damage, you send out a shockwave. And when that shockwave hits your target, you can hit anything that you can see. So you hit someone, and then you use a second charm that causes whatever you to hit, instead of them taking damage, they have to make a willpower roll. And if they fail the willpower roll, they transform into it, whatever you want them to. And then you have a third charm that causes it to cascade outwards to go to somebody else who's nearby. And then it hits them. And then the same effect happens again. And then it spreads to a next person, and the next person, and the next person. The reason it's called Creation Slaying Oblivion Kick is with one kick, you could theoretically turn all of creation into lawn flamingos. Or martens. You could also turn them all into martens. Third edition does not have Fairfolk playable yet. Though, Zim, could you play the card?
Fine. I was about to go play a Marten card, but I guess I can play this one. Yeah, the icon on it is just a bag of salt for now.
If you don't give me something to do, I'll have to amuse myself.
I just realized I've also never had artwork made of Domino before.
Ron_Zim says perfect.
Okay, let me do that again because I wasn't feeding it.
If you don't give me something to do, I'll have to amuse myself, and no one wants that.
Ron_Zim says perfect.
Did somebody say perfect? Oh, darling, you made a card for myself. Oh, I am honored, darling. You like me that much?
The Fairfolk.
I can delete it.
Oh, good day, everybody. It is so nice to see you on this fine evening. It is I, Domino, your host. Shut the fuck up, Domino. Oh, I mean co-host. I am one of the great fair folk, the gentry, whatever you wish to call me. It is more than perfect, of course. And I am one of the main fair folk who stars in this game, who assists our would-be heroes on their grand adventure. That's absolutely perfect. Domino. I love Domino. He's great. He's a fair folk I made up, and he has been around for over 10 years now, doing his thing.
So, shall we get on with the recap?
Yeah, we kind of should do that. I kind of realized that myself. Sorry, everyone.
Alright, take us away, Guaco. Actually, I guess Murder is here now. Jaffrey, you want to use one of your cards to do the recap? Nope. Oh. Oh. Okay. Alright, Toshime, go for it.
Last time, Murder fought or dueled Dawncast Solar in a friendly fight in the middle of a temple. That was a good enough recap.
And he didn't get one shot. He very probably would have won that duel. He got the First Age Solar to concede to him.
I do generally prefer the recaps be more thorough. But I guess we
did a lot of fighting.
We'll turn it over now to Kerr.
Moriarty, you aren't in the server.
But I thought I opened it. Oh, I did. I forgot to
You didn't select a character.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
You're good. That's why I wanted to let you know. And so we begin our intrepid heroes again. As you guys begin to make your way out of the temple, back up to the town above. Your new solar friend and the Dragon King are staying below for right now. They are currently
I thought others
working.
were going to be dueling the solar.
Do you want this entire session to be nothing but fights?
I mean,
yeah, I thought we hand waved them at the end of last session.
That's what I thought we did too.
Okay, I just remembered people wanting to try their hand at it, and I didn't want to do that. So
those were all things we were discussing.
That was kind of what the hand wave was. It was how would you guys have done it? And then we talked over like, oh, I would have done this, and I would have done that.
And me telling it's like, yeah, that would have been effective, or that wouldn't have worked very well, or yes, you might have actually been able to win that way. And as you guys make your way back to the surface, back into the city, they stay below, currently hard at work at awakening the other Dragon Kings, who are currently in stasis at the moment. And as you come back up, Guaco, your sister is still there, and she is standing there, arms crossed, watching that hole where the entrance to the temple is. And she kind of looks you guys up and down when you come back. So, you have your fun down there?
I'd say we did.
What's going on? Is there anything dangerous?
We have a few more allies that could help us.
I'll take allies. Allies are good. What kind of allies?
They will take time to awaken, though.
We have nothing but time right now. My scouts have come back with a bit of a map of the outside outlying regions. And if you would care to join me, Nevis, you and your allies are, of course, welcome. And we can discuss a possible strategy for dealing with this issue going on.
Let's go.
Lead the way.
Cyril just nods.
She'll nod and begin to lead the way to her little command center that she has set up. And you can see the main table has been cleared off again, and a map of the island has been laid out. And you can see little markings have been set up, as well as like little figures are on the map, different sizes and shapes. And you can see some of her. You can tell specifically that they are her people because they actually look competent at their jobs. And you can see also Ferris in the room, and he is currently serving tea and refreshments to everybody.
Is the nobleman in the room or no?
He is no
He's
longer
currently-
a nobleman.
Yeah, he got kicked out. You can see some other of the nobility, though.
How many
There's-
of them are fat and overly eccentric armor?
Every one of them.
All of them are fat?
Yeah.
There's not one of them who's like just, a little bit like, man, I should like actually keep up with my figure. No, they're all just like, oh.
Mhm. Yeah.
There wasn't much reason for them to be on guard.
Yeah, this is one of the richest trading ports over here in the West. Why would they bother doing that when they're nobility? They can just get all of the food, slaves, and whatever else they want with their money.
Hey, there are some lines of nobles that are still decent. Sometimes. Some places.
Yeah, those are mostly the Dragonbloods, actually, because the Dragonbloods actually give a shit for the most part, depending on which Dragonblood you ask, but most of them do. Most mortal nobility are kind of useless most of the time, about 80%. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do have nobles who are good at their job. That's more the exception, though. Creation tends to murder anyone who try to actually be competent at their job and threaten the power structure.
That's why there's a kid on the throne.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's about like a dozen of these pompous looking guys. Like, you can probably take a look at them, and the skinniest guy is probably around 300 to 400 pounds. And the fattest is like 500. And you kind of wonder how he's able to move with all that weight. Especially with that really ill-fitting armor he's wearing, too. Like, it would just be kind of absolutely useless in a fight. But it's very decked out. You can see all the medals. The metal is freshly polished. And it's basically parade armor. This isn't actual, like, armor. All of them are dressed in very similar types of outfits. Much more bling and shine than any substance to it.
Nevis
Yeah,
is striding in imperiously, daring
The death-
anyone to, do anything.
yeah, Lady Iceheart is just glaring at them. Like she is just like, nope, 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 nope. I am tired of dealing with these fucking assholes. And she just sits behind her desk and puts up her hands and just smiles as you march in imperiously like that. Uh, does anyone else follow Nevis in?
I mean, I'm gonna follow Nevison.
I'm gonna follow Nevison.
Yep.
I never
Sark,
not follow Nevison.
I don't know if Sark still had his cloak on, but he doesn't have it on.
So, Sark, Nevis, your ears suddenly hurt a lot. And for you, Cyril,
magnanimous dispensation.
Tokeme tipped
UI.
$110.
Toshime, thank you so much for that donation. The
Thank
donation goal
you.
has been completed.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, Nevis is marching up to the table and looking
Real
it
quick.
over.
Nevis and Nevis and Sark, and a little bit with Murder. You guys suddenly hear a sound that absolutely hurts your ears. Cyril, you hear the sound, a sound go up, a high-pitched sound that only like dogs or animals with really enhanced hearing would be able to hear on your sensors. And
Okay.
you realize this is the actual screech of one of the nobles is so high pitched that it's causing actual pain.
Sark is going to yell STFU at whoever's screaming.
Cyril draws his weapon because he's not certain what they're screaming at, and so he thinks there may be a threat.
Tokeme is excited.
I don't know the rating of the stream, so I didn't actually say what Sark said. I gave an abbreviation.
Yeah, I noticed your abbreviation. And I just gotta say one thing. Watch your fucking language. This is a goddamn Christian server.
All right,
Answer
then.
your question.
That, you know what that does.
The noble who's screaming looks to be about 400 pounds. He's clad in bright kill me orange and white. It looks like he is very much balding on the top of his head. And he is particularly ill-fitted in his armor. And like it's just like pulling back, looking at you guys like you are like the most disgusting things he has ever seen in his life. And this look is very much being kind of, maybe not as much, but reciprocated by the other nobles who are in the room. They might not be screaming, but their looks of absolute condemnation and like, you are ugly, filthy, you are an abomination compared to us, and you are worthy of nothing more than serving us and dying for us, is like the look they're giving you.
Nevis
You are like their slaves who should obey their every whim.
Nevis goes to the one that is screaming. Or no, he
As
doesn't
does
go to
Cyril.
them. He just continues striding over to the table.
Jaffa says, urge to, broken heart, broken heart, broken heart, rising.
What did the noble say when I looked at him and told him to shut the fuck up?
When you said that, the noble looked like he had just been physically assaulted. As his face turns a very interesting shade of purple. You don't think you've ever seen that kind of shade before? Not on human skin, though.
Cyril
Does he
steps
stop-
forward with
does he
his
stop
weapon.
screaming?
Cyril steps forward with his weapon and simply says, "Warning. Please indicate the sense of danger so that I may eliminate it."
Animals right there! They so unclothed and talking to me like that. Even looking at me is far too good for them. When this guy
Nevis.
says that, I start smiles and just Lamar looks at you, Nevis, and it looks like she's just like waiting.
Nevis.
I'm just gonna...
Oh,
Go ahead.
Are you sure I can go? I have been
Initiating
interrupted
search.
about a dozen times now.
Initiating search. Scanning. Scanning. Result. No animals detected.
Nevis turns his head to look at the one that said that.
It was the one that screamed.
I figured. I can assure you that I have far more nobility than you do. If you are not going to participate in this planning session, then I invite you to leave immediately.
Family dates back to the great shogunate. We were
I
given our
do
noble...
not care. I am Nevis, King of Conquerors, and you will give me the respect I have earned and deserve.
We could also just leave and let y'all get your town destroyed. That's an option too.
Cautionary. It is best not to upset the exaltations.
Murder occurring in 5, 4, 3.
Nevis,
I'm just kind of
no murder. Trust me, Jaffer. Stripping them of all their rights and stuff is far more punishing than actually killing them.
I don't know. Killing's pretty satisfying.
This is essentially the equivalent of Cyril leaning over and going, "Let the Wookiee win."
Now remember, you have to talk to them like nobles.
Yes, Nevis is talking.
If Nevis doesn't protect your assets, then look who will come in to take over.
We can lead this army perfectly fine. Gods, get in here! Seize this thing for speaking to me like that! And when he says that, the door opens, and what looks to be like an 18 or 19-year-old guy, he's actually wearing...
One question.
Yes.
How is he getting past Nevis's guards?
They kind of feel bad for this guy.
They still should not let him through.
Nevis, what is this guy going to do to you?
Oh, nothing, but...
Sark's gonna charge the noble.
Do not harm him.
When you charge Sark, the teenager who just stepped into the room, he actually is surprisingly competent, and he immediately dashes forward as the noble screams and just kind of throws up his arms rather than trying to protect himself, with the sword at his side or getting out of the way. And the guard interposes himself between the noble and you.
I'm gonna throw the guard out of the way. Like as he gets in front of me, take my hand and just throw him out of the way.
That is going to be a contested roll.
Is it?
Stop.
Yes, it actually will be. Hang on.
Stop these hostilities immediately. Do not stoop to these pitiful people's level.
You say this right when this happens, which is kind of hilarious, as I feel like your look is all just like, this is normal though. Give me 1 sec.
What am I rolling? And would this be like a close combat?
That's what I'm double checking real quick. I'm just getting up my character sheet. I can find it. There it is. Murder, no killing them. Yes, he is. I will allow this murder. The noble is now completely bald, including his eyebrows. This would be a... You're trying to throw him?
I'm basically trying to take the guard and get him out of the way so that I can basically pin the dude to the wall.
That would be an athletics roll.
Okay, so that was that.
This is going to be a contested athletics roll.
At least I think I did that right. Force plus
Yep.
athletics?
Yep. That is correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Jaffa says, murder speaks to the noble. Next time, I aim for flesh and bone. Shut your mouth or I will shut it for you.
So, real quick, everyone. This is what happens. Sark, you go forward, and this is a mortal kid. There is no sign of exaltation or anything. You can see as you're going for him, you can see there's actual muscle underneath that armor. This isn't some person doing this for the job, or who's been lazy and just you can see some of the guards and the nobility, they are not in shape at all. This person is. He is extremely toned. He looks like he works out a lot, and his face has a few scars and bashes on it. And you can see his hands are callous as you get closer. And you reach out to just kind of get him out of the way. This is a mortal, not a big deal. Sark, you suddenly find yourself, as you reach out to grab him, his hand comes up, hits yours, knocks yours up, grabs you, and immediately sends you ass over tea kettle onto the ground as he grabs your arm, twists it, and then just pushes you down and basically pins you there on the ground.
I'm not going to take out my dagger.
Specifically, you can tell here, he is very much not trying to hurt you. This is strictly just to keep you from getting to the noble. And you can kind of hear him bend down and whisper, softly into your ear, so you and only you hear Sark. I'm sorry about this. I don't have a choice. Before he kind of moves his head back and just kind of keeps you held there. This whole action took maybe like 4 seconds to happen.
Did I hear Nevis say, "Quit with the violence"?
Basically, he never said that right when you went over ass over tea kettle.
All right, I'm not going to do anything more.
Everyone else just saw you basically get spun around and then pinned on the ground.
That's what happens when you roll 2 1s.
Yeah, he's also got he's somewhat trained in this. And the noble just smiles. He kind of looks at you, Murder.
He's
And he
smiling despite being balded.
It doesn't look like he's actually noticed.
Ah. Murder's just that
Like,
good.
Yes. Also, he's that stupid.
I'm
Like-
imagining he just looks like one of the dwarves from Deep Rock Galactic without hair, which is a very ugly little man.
That would probably work. My best soldier. You will protect me if you know what's good for you. You can especially you, Sark, this close, you can hear him just like take a very deep breath, like he's biting back saying something.
Nevis is going to speak up at this time. If we are done with these hostilities, you will learn respect. As he's saying this to the noble. You will learn respect, or I will make you learn it. Do I make myself clear?
I don't take orders from the rabble. Worse, a rabid little animal.
I am Nevis, King of Conquerors, and you are hereby stripped of all rights, positions, and titles.
You have no authority
Guards,
over me.
take him to my soldiers. Take him to the ship. He will be trained.
When the guards start to step in, the teen lets go of Sark and stands up, and you see him reach down and rest his hand on the blade. He doesn't draw his sword, but he kind of just stands up in defense of the guy.
Youth, what is your name? He's talking to the teen.
I know.
Teen's name is Kajep Kajop.
No. No.
What is Kachuk? I know that name. What is
Kajip
Kachuk?
Kajak is the leader of the Sidereals and the one who basically led the faction that murdered all the Solars.
Ah.
also known as Ketchup Carjack, as fans have joked about. The teen takes a slow, deep breath for a moment. You can call me Pride, sir.
A very fitting name for such a brave individual as yourself. It seems that you are no longer with and his mouth just kind of turns up in a snarl as he says, Master.
Is it just me or is Nim dying?
What?
No, it's just me. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I'm good now, I think.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
That makes it especially funny.
It's only happening for you.
Okay, I lost I lost my flow, thanks.
My apologies. I was losing you, and then I thought I was losing everything.
But yeah, he kind of snarls as he says, Master, and seeing as you no longer have one, if you would like a place of honor with my soldiers, you definitely have shown aptitude worthy of that honor. However, do not involve yourself here. This individual does not deserve what you offer to them, and I would much rather see you lose your life, if that is what it comes to, in a more fitting manner. One that is noble to your loyalty.
He kind of takes a deep breath and sighs. I'm really sorry, but I can't do that. You idiot boy, don't apologize to the animal.
And
Protect
why is
me.
that?
If I don't protect him and he doesn't give the word, they'll murder my little brother. It's how he keeps my loyalty. Don't reveal our secrets to these filthy creatures. Iceheart looks at this man, and the room actually drops about 20 degrees.
Nevis is furious at that.
Cyril leans in very quietly towards Nevis. Discreet statement. I will find the boy. And then he turns and starts going out.
Yeah, Iceheart also looks absolutely furious. Most of the nobles don't actually look surprised, or they don't look like they really even care. As Pride just reaches and draws his blade and just kind of stands there. Like, you can see how tightly he's gripping his sword. Like, it's enough that his hands are turning white.
Nevis is going to turn to Icewind. Just his head. I presume that I have your blessing to perform any duties as I require here, yes?
Oh, I have absolutely no problem with it. If you don't, then I'm sure I can come with a few things. Though I honestly want to promote this boy. He actually seems competent. Surprisingly so. I believe we have more
Agreed.
competency in him than I think most of this room combined.
Well, with that in mind, you have heard it from her? As I have stated, you are stripped of all rights, privileges, and titles. And he's directing this at the noble.
You can't do that to me. You're nothing but an animal, and she's nothing but a
And
fucking
Nevis is
bitch.
just turning away from him, looking at the table, completely ignoring everything he's saying.
Jaffa says, I am so close, as a player, of going full evil mode.
Not sure if
Jaffer,
it's really
no.
evil here.
We will
Though,
deal with him properly.
so what are you doing, Cyril, when you go out?
So I go out there, I find the first one of these guys' guards.
Okay.
Walk
Yeah,
up
it's
to
not
him.
that hard. They each have their own heraldry, so they're not difficult to find.
I walk up to him. Where's the brother of pride?
I cannot give that information.
Grab him by the shirt, lift him up. Where's the brother of pride?
This would be an
Oh,
intimidation roll.
You know he's serious because he didn't start that sentence with inquiry.
He,
Yes.
intimidation is presence, right?
No, it's actually there's an intimidation. Oh,
Is
right,
there
sorry.
one? No, there
I'm looking at the wrong sheet. My bad. I was looking at werewolf, not at exalted.
Yeah, I know werewolf has one.
Yeah. Exalted, this would be a presence roll.
Jaffa
Yes.
says, how I would do this. Where's the brother? Murder that guard, turn to next. Where's the brother?
See, I was thinking about doing that, but I know Nevis frowns upon that. I was
It is.
thinking of doing exactly that, though.
It is not these guards' fault. In fact, they should be praised for their loyalty, as long as they are not complicit in making it happen. For all we know, all of these guards have their own family members being held hostage.
Can I turn to my my follower and basically tell them, hey, sniff this, like, that guard, the dude, and go find his brother?
He would nod before doing so and taking off.
Presence 5.
He's at the manor with the rest of the slaves.
Sets him down, pats him on the head, starts walking off.
The guards are under orders to kill them all if they don't receive word from the boss.
Response. Then they shall receive words from the boss. He continues walking towards the manor.
Yeah, he's able to point out which one it is, so you would be able to get there.
All right.
It wouldn't be long before Cyril's assistant also shows up, though he kind of follows behind you, Cyril.
You mean Sark?
Or Sark's assistant, sorry. Wow, brain. And yes, you are able. The manor is very nice, very well stocked, where people are kind of like trying to ration and make sure everything's holding out and such. This is like a picture of absolute opulence and greed and just basically just using resources just to use them.
All right. Cyril activates Optical Shroud. The Exalt's implants bend light around her, hiding her from view. Commit 1 mote. The chemical disappears from view and gains 2 automatic successes on stealth rolls. She cannot be detected by sight means based. If she makes noise or touches items in the scene, others may be alerted to her presence. The effect lasts for the scene or until the character releases the mote.
Okay.
So I am invisible and I'm just walking in.
Yeah, you're able to get in. The door is unlocked.
I'm gonna find these slaves or whatever.
Let's have a. Let's see. What would be a good roll for this? Let's have a. No, not that one. Let's have an awareness roll for this.
All right, I'm going to be spending an additional mote then to activate my awareness excellency.
Okay.
Which, if I recall correctly, gives me either plus my awareness or plus my highest. My awareness is 3, so that's 13, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume this is taking a little bit of time. Is the noble saying anything else that Nevis is just completely ignoring?
Oh, he's screaming and yelling and complaining and making basically an absolute ass of himself.
Excellent. And Nevis is just looking over the map, casually talking to Icewind.
Yeah,
So
she
they-
is. Oh, go ahead.
So they are set up here, and it looks like over here.
From what my scouts have said, it seems we have a force of around 100,000.
Jaffa says, murder will turn to the noble. This is your final warning. Hold your tongue or I will remove it.
I'll get to you in just a moment, Jaffer.
Oh, I'm not expecting real roleplay here. It was just kind of a.
Oh,
This is
just,
what they're doing. Just idle.
Like
Okay.
casual banter.
Because this actually could be important for actually what's going to be going on once this resolves. But we can get to that. For you,
Yeah.
Jaffer, when you say that, Pride actually just kind of tightens his sword and looks at you. He looks scared but resolute as he shakes his head. I can't let you do that. I'm sorry, but I won't.
Sorry, Mr. President.
Oh, he clearly has no illusions that he can possibly win, but he's still going to try.
Pride, I assure you that your brother and all of the others that may be held hostage are going to be absolutely safe and fine. I give you
Say to
my
Jaffa
word.
says, then you keep him silent then, because I do not make false threats.
Say, today's session wouldn't happen to be titled Pride and Prejudice, would it?
No,
I said the title of it at the beginning.
let the war begin.
I know, but like, I had to make that joke. It's Pride and Prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me someone else at least thought of that. I can't be the only one who saw that.
No worries, Jaffer.
I did not.
I did.
He looks at you, Nevis, when you say that. It's like, I can't take that risk. They're too important. I have to protect them. Even if what you say is true, I can't run the risk.
Pride,
They rely on me.
they will be safe.
I hope so. I really do, but you can see him just kind of just take a deep breath. It's like, I'll still do what I have to do, though, to protect them until I know for sure.
And what is the noble's response?
He just smirks, like, very smug and satisfactorily. It's like, the little lion knows who his master is.
And you don't know what you're missing with.
Once this is resolved, I assure you, you will be gravely punished. And he is directing that at the noble.
As if you could touch us. We rule this city. This is our playground to do whatever we want in.
You know, that is a very good point. Do the rest of you hold slaves?
They snort, as if it was obvious.
If you wish to retain your titles, you will immediately fill out the paperwork. I'm sure Icewind can provide that. To free them now. And he is projecting his aura of the predator thing.
Okay. They all immediately just start looking like they are about to piss themselves from that. And they start
Jaffa
muttering
says,
and kind
Murder
of...
will add in. If you wish to retain your heads, you'll follow his instructions.
You were saying, Kerr?
They look like they're about to piss themselves, and they kind of start whispering and muttering and complaining to each other that they're being threatened.
Said now.
To your surprise, though, Nevis, Pride doesn't look like he's been shaken by this.
Oh, Nevis isn't directing it at him. The way the charm works, from what I understand, is I choose who it points
Okay,
towards.
okay. I thought it was just like a group.
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
He is focused entirely on the nobles.
Yeah, Icewind just kind of smiles and gets out some paperwork from her desk and just slides it over, a very smug grin on her face. But none of the nobles really move.
Very well. 3, 2. Do they do anything?
Nope.
1. Murder do not harm them. At least not yet. They will be executed. And their families will be stripped of all titles, privileges, and wealth. This world is going to change, and if you do not change with it, you will be removed from it. Jaffer just realized how he does intimidation. He doesn't roll to intimidate the NPCs. He rolls intimidate on the DM and see if he'll call my bluff.
I like that. They very much look like you're full of bullshit. Like you can't touch them. Probably because they think that they can get away with anything. So they don't think you have the authority to actually do any of this to them.
Icewind, do you know where their territories are, or where their manors are?
He'll nod.
Great. I need a list of them and paperwork declaring that all of them have lost their titles and
You can
wealth and such. Apparently murder has removed the head of a noble.
Give me a second real quick. I need to check something.
Actions have consequences.
They do. They do indeed. I need to check something. Give me just a moment. Where is my thingy thing?
Well, while you're checking that, I'm going to go grab some water real quick.
Okay, so give me one sec while I calculating. Where is my thingy thing? There's my thingy thing.
Anything.
Thingy thing. I need to check something.
Let's turn violent.
Yeah, that's why I'm checking something real quick. I just found what I was needing to check. So give me a second.
And
No,
here's where the noble exalts.
What was that, Toshime?
And here's where the noble, about to get his head off, cut off, exalts.
I'm just rolling some dice real quick.
Well, come on, hurry.
I'm sorry, there's dice to roll.
It takes a little bit.
Roll them faster.
I am trying.
Are we about to just murder a room full of nobles? Like, is that what's gonna happen?
No.
So, murder. Here's what happens. As you dash forward, your scythe ignites. How exactly does your scythe work, though? Real quick. I want to double check something real quick.
Now, are they guilty?
Is that even a question?
I mean, Nevis has just, declared slavery outlawed, basically. So, and they refuse to give up their slaves. So, yeah, that would be a guilt. That does
The
make them
scythe needs
guilty.
to judge them.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm going to just double check. So, Jaffer, you dash forward. You move almost quicker than the eye can see. Your scythe back, ready to strike and bring justice down on these people. And to your surprise, though, you feel it a moment before you see it as Pride moves, lifting his sword up as it ignites in a wash of golden essence. And you see the image of a golden lion blaze into the room. As his sword strikes the scythe, he's not able to completely block it, but instead, as it tries to go for the noble, he twists the sword and pulls it down. And he's able to redirect it, so instead of basically getting to the noble and beheading him, he pulls the scythe down by shifting the blade up above the blade of your scythe and pulling downwards, and the blade instead goes into him. And it cuts into him, but it does no harm to him. Because the scythe does not judge him to be guilty. Icewind is looking at this and staring very, very hard at him as you can see this aura of power blazing around him, and you can see the cast mark of a Zenith Exalted on his forehead.
Did this kid just exalt?
Yes,
Yep.
because he was willing to face down a Exalted to protect the people that he loved and cared about, even if it destroyed every one of his beliefs and hurt him. He was going to do whatever it took to protect them, even if it killed him. And that is exactly the sort of thing that would call an exaltation to you, if there's one open.
And there's plenty of solar exaltations right now.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of them running around right now. Yes. It looks like specifically he knew he couldn't stop the scythe from impacting, so he redirected it down into him instead. But since the scythe does not harm the innocent, there is no damage at all. It's just kind of stuck there for a second. As you can see, the sword has changed a little bit. It has become basically encased in sunlight. And you can see the aura is also forming around his body as a suit of armor that is also made of sunlight. He looks just as surprised as all of you, though. Like, he does not look like he knows at all what the fuck is going on.
Nevis is going to look over and just casually comment. Yeah, that pretty much checks out. I was rather surprised by the way you acted that you had not already been an Exalted.
Jaffa says, Murder will nod at the youth, then look to the noble. It seems this young man has given you a stay of execution. For now.
Kind of looks down at his hands. It's like he's clad in like full plate armor now, and the head of the helmet that's formed over his head is the head of a lion. And he just looks very confused. It's like, what is this?
You have exalted. You have gained access to a great amount of power. Enough so you can definitely ensure nobody is enslaved again.
How does my sister react to the anathema appearing?
She looks very torn by this. But she is staying silent for the moment, and she has not said anything. And cut to Cyril.
All right.
So you are hunting.
Yep, I'm basically just going around as invisible to each of these. Like, I'm looking for the slaves, figuring out where the guy is that's supposed to kill them or what's supposed to kill them. And, I'm just going to take it out.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long to find it's towards the basement of this building. And you find basically what looks to be around 100 people. They're basically dressed in rags, chained to the wall. They have maybe like a foot of reach with the shackles that are on their arms and legs. They're dressed in rags. They look battered and bruised and half-starved. There are women and children among the men. And they look absolutely miserable and just like they've given up almost. And you can see there's 2 guards waiting outside. They don't look like they're guarding so much as like waiting for a word from something.
Gotcha. All right, so there are guards there.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Okay.
They don't look to be in the best of shape, and they're really not paying attention.
All right. Hmm. How do I want to do this? Like, it's not even that it would be hard. It's just there's so many ways I could do this.
Mm-hmm. It's not the matter of can I do this. It's the matter of how do I want to do this.
It's politics. It's how can I not be the bad guy?
Da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, you have life sign detecting. Like you can tell these people have clearly been tortured and such too, and starved.
Okay, cool.
Like these people are in very nasty condition.
That just made it infinitely easier.
Yeah, that's why it's like, yeah, no, you have that. You can see like there are scars, there are wounds, and some of them have been left to fester and such.
Oops.
Exclamation. It is now time to leave the building.
There we go. I accidentally broke a thing for a moment.
And here, Murder is playing the bad guy role so well that Kurt needed to exalt an NPC. Actually, I have a funny story for that.
How close are these guys together?
So you know, like the size of a normal door.
Yeah.
They're standing on either side of the door.
All right.
Bonk.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna stand in between them. Drop my invisibility, and then just basically wrap my arm around each of their necks, and then just choke them both out at the same time.
That's close combat.
Close combat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'm still somewhat decent at that. Close combat. Oh no, I've only got like 1 mote in it, but I'm finesseful, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait,
I'm going to consider this to be a surprise attack as well, so they can't implement their defense.
That's a botch.
You now have motes and abilities?
Sorry, what?
You now
Oh
have
wait, hold
motes
on.
and abilities, you said?
Hold on. I might have something for this actually. I have double any successes extra playing defense. I have excellent strike. I don't know if that would apply here though.
That would be allowed to be applied.
Okay.
It's a close combat roll.
Yeah. Okay. So for excellent strike, it's spend 1 mote. On step 3, I don't know when step 3 is still. Steps are still weird to me. Double the extra successes after applying defense, but before any bonus successes are applied. Additionally, remove all penalties hindering a single close combat attack. So I don't know if that would remove the ones.
It would not remove the ones.
Okay, but it would double the successes.
So
which
would mean 0 successes.
Okay, so it's not a botch, it's just a fail.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be good. I feel like a botch is I just kill the guys accidentally. Since this is supposed to be non-lethal.
So no,
I don't know.
You try to grab them, and they both kind of bend down as you see one of them drops the key, and the other one bends down to tie their shoe. As you just kind of appear and try to grab them, and they both bend down right at that moment. And then they both kind of look up and just kind of stop and just stare at you.
Hello.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Response. I am here from your... are they lords?
Nobles, lords, master.
From the nobility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I just want to use the proper title because, like, the Lord would want to be known by a certain title.
Yes.
He's like, response, I am here on behalf of Lord and... Oh, shit, did I get his name?
No.
No.
On behalf of your Lord.
Mm-hmm.
He says to, and I quote, let the prisoners free. And if I can, I'd like to use my, because I do have verbatim recall. Can I, like, splice my verbatim recall to make it sound like his voice? More like I'm mimicking him?
I will let you make a roll to attempt to do that. That sounds
Alright.
cool.
What am I rolling for that?
Let's see. This would be a presence roll.
Presence roll. Interesting. Okay.
There's nothing else I could use for it.
No, wait, hold on. Let me bring up verbatim recall. Can only recall a conversation exactly repeat, perfectly mimicking the participants' voices and inflections. This affords the exalter fortitude in automatic successes where remembering precise details or mimicking a specific character would apply. This bonus may exceed the usual limit by a margin of 2. So I get my fortitude in automatic successes, which is 3.
You have 3 automatic successes on this roll.
Yep. Okay. Woman presence is a 8. 5 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god! My 3 successes! They were eaten! Well, that's still 3 success. That's not that bad.
Still made 3.
They look a little iffy towards that. It's like, but these are the master's toys. What does he require them for one of his parties?
Curry's giving you an out here. Take it.
Statement. Affirmative.
Usually
There
he
is a
doesn't like-
large meeting of nobles at the main place. I forgot. I don't know what the main place is.
Mhm.
Like, is it like, is it a manor with like a specific name?
Not really, but you could, not a name that you would have really heard too much.
Okay.
You can basically, they know where you'd probably be talking about, or you could assume they know.
Yeah.
At the meeting point.
And they look, he wants all of his torture toys?
Affirmative. It is a large gathering.
Huh. Do you need us
All
to
of the
get
nobles were there.
Do you need us to get some of the guards to help corral these things?
Response. Negative. I am an exaltation. I can handle slaves.
Your hide, as he'll hand you the key to unlock the door and the shackles.
Cyril takes the key and then walks in. And then just goes, I'm thinking about how he would word this.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab some water real quick.
All right. I guess I'll let you get back because you're kind of the person I'm role playing towards.
You don't let them know that they're being freed until you're actually out of earshot.
Yeah. I know, and like I'm trying to think of how he would word like a sort of like fake threatening stance, so to speak.
Meanwhile, I'm just fixing. By the way, the reason the icons have disappeared is I'm fixing them. I have not been. They have bugged me since I set them up because I could tell that they weren't quite lined up how I wanted them. And indeed, they weren't. The DM's icon was 3 pixels off. It bothers me, okay? Don't judge me. So I'm just adjusting them, working on it, trying to get it ready and perfect. Pixel perfect. And I am saying perfect a lot. And I'm sure Kerr is hearing me. And a certain someone is going to show up and wreck everything for Cyril. Or make it better. One of the two.
It's always a coin toss.
There's a family of witches on this one thing that I see. And the husband of the witch is in a different type of costume. His costume
is Manwich.
Uh-huh.
I've seen that image.
That one.
Sorry, I got distracted by Kun Kun. Kun Kun is here right now, and he's eating birdseed.
E. Oh, or not E.
No, it is super cute. Kun Kun is a raccoon.
I know, but like some people are like, raccoons, bird seed's not yours. Come
on. Go ahead.
Oh, me? Right, okay. So Cyril's gonna go ahead and he's gonna say, like, sneering demand. Get up on your feet, all of you. Your master requires your presence. All of you.
Many of the children look like they're about to start crying as the older ones try to comfort them as best they can.
Are these like mostly children?
About 40 of them are children. 20 or about 30, 40 of them are women, and then the rest are guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, mostly women and children. There's only a few men. As they quickly move to do what you're saying, the women and men trying to comfort the children and keep them as calm as they possibly can with all this going on.
And he's just gonna lead them out.
they will follow and they will not resist. And the guards won't try to stop you.
All right, I get out of earshot of the guards.
You do that.
Yep.
All right, and by the time I get to that point, Sio's going to look back to them and say, "Apologies. I did not mean to sound so harsh. Though you should all be glad in the note that in the information that you are now free."
They all look absolutely shocked.
Is the brother of pride here? A query is the brother of pride here.
One of the youngest boys will slowly lift his hand.
Statement. Most excellent. It
Your
appears
brother
as though...
requests to see you.
Affirmative. Yeah, he'll start to take them out. Like nothing's amiss, nothing's wrong.
Okay. And you soon lead them back, just as all this is going on here in... Just as all this is going on.
All right.
And the noble's face absolutely falls when he sees you. And he kind of stammers a little bit. But what are they all doing here? What are you doing with them?
Response. These individuals have been liberated from your oppressive grasp. You no longer have any hold over pride.
The moment you say that, Pride's sword whips out, and you see a giant golden lion literally leap out of the sword, and it scythes through not just one of them, but all of them in a bloody orgy of death. Before he just kind of sheathes his sword after swinging it once.
Shark's going to look around and say, all right then, well, I guess that takes care of that problem.
That's what those fuckers get. Icewind just kind of cocks her head for a moment before simply stating, I do believe the quality of our army just went up.
Agreed. However, Pride, I would recommend caution. Don't let ferocity and anger overcome your loyalty and strength.
Deserved it what they did torturing my people and my brother.
Oh, I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. But generally it is better to go about it in a proper manner instead of doing it as you decide to. Would have been better to publicly execute them than just do it here in this office. No matter though, Icewind, do you have those papers ready? I will send my soldiers to the other manors to retrieve those slaves kept there.
He'll nod and give you them.
Excellent. And Nevis sends off portions of his soldiers to each of the manors with orders to arrest anyone that tries to resist.
Sounds good.
All right, so back to this planning.
She will nod. This force, the one not being led by the Beastmen. You said that they were mercenaries?
Mercenary enslavers, they have been causing a lot of problems for other villages. We are better off rid of them. Though, of course, as always, I would prefer to give the soldiers an opportunity to surrender, and then we do an investigation to determine who did what crimes, and then properly dispense punishment and justice.
She will nod. Well, according to my scouts, they've been bringing people in all over from the west. Apparently, they're a bit scared of you.
Good.
They have about 100,000 soldiers coming in. They have a fortress to the north of the island. A pretty strong one from what my people have said. The few that we've been able to have get out of here. They just finally got back with their report. They're estimating the number around 100,000 based on the ships and the level of activity. The fort looks to be a old shogunate fortress. So my guess is they're going to have a little bit of artifact weaponry to guard it. And it's going to be a hell of a nut to crack.
Jaffa
if
says,
we just tried
scared,
to invade it.
they better be. Murder has influence for being a monster.
This is true. As for the Beastmen, I don't know quite as much. I know that they're somewhere to the western part of the island, northwest, maybe about 10 miles out from the mercenaries, where their main base is. That's what they're guessing. We don't have a good number, though. We think it's somewhere underground. Or at least the entrance is somewhat hidden. I don't know if they're using some sort of magic to do it, or what. But we haven't been able to find an above-ground camp for them yet. But we've seen a lot of patrols and a lot of forces moving around. We guess that their forces are around 40 to 50,000, but they're all beastmen, so I put them probably on at least the same strength as the mercenary company, minimum.
I'll look at Icewind and say I can track down the beastmen, find where their camp is.
He'll nod towards you. Right now, this may turn into a bit of a protracted siege. I'm not sure how fast we want to move, because if we move too quickly, we may leave ourselves exposed to the other army.
I would say our best course of action may be to we do have my ship, our ship, that we can take And that thing is more than capable of leveling the above ground fortress that that the mercenaries have holed up in. I would rather not destroy that though. So, okay, so out of character here.
Mhm.
We got 30 to 40,000 beastmen. How many mercenaries?
About 100,000.
And how many soldiers does Nevis have?
Enough to take them all out.
Probably about 10,000.
Yeah, probably enough to take them all out.
Yeah.
Especially because they are very thoroughly trained.
And fair folk.
And possibly to have Dragon Kings to support them.
Well, we don't know how long it's gonna be before they are ready.
This
Unless
is true.
they gave us a time.
They did not know.
And
Jaffa says, I will gladly eliminate the leadership of the opposing armies. Then they will cower before you, Neves.
The tower, yeah. I am uncertain if they would agree to a duel. Especially if they... Especially on the side of the mercenaries. And the only way to really get them to surrender would be as if they all see their leader being brutally executed. Any thoughts from the rest of you?
Works for me.
Which one do we go first?
Jaffa says, who said anything about a duel? I will march in through the front gate and just eliminate the problem.
Again, I would prefer that we do not kill... that we give them the chance to surrender. I think the first place that we should go is the mercenaries. I believe that they would be the easiest to eliminate and remove the threat of. And especially since we would have to do some work finding the beast folk.
Analysis. Given that they are more likely to fight us and likely have less innocent individuals on their side, I believe this to be an accurate calculation.
Sark's going to look at Icewind and say, these beastmen, they're wolves, correct?
So they have many different breeds among them.
And don't
Works for
forget,
me.
they also have a Sidril.
You mean Sidereal?
Mm-hmm.
Reality bending super ninja.
Either way, Nevis, if this is something you can agree to, I said I volunteered to go and find the beastmen. While you guys handle the the barbarian or the mercenary problem, I can go and I can find the beastmen and gather intel and come back.
I believe that would be. I would like you to go and find the beastmen. However, please do not destroy their resources this time. Unfortunately, we do have need of supplies for our own soldiers as well as our people here.
All right, don't destroy their resources. Got it.
Alright, so you will go find. So Sark will go and locate the beastmen. Guaco and Cyril, I would like to leave you two here in charge of the defense alongside Icewind. Is that acceptable?
Okay.
I would rather not leave the city undefended by Exalted if the Sidereal decides to return. Murder, you and I will go alone to the mercenary camp. I do believe we would be able to handle that on our own. Or at least deliver our terms, as it were. Does everyone accept this plan?
Okay.
Where did you say Cyril should go? I'm sorry.
Leading the defense,
Gotcha.
especially with your gun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good defensive.
About how much
Response.
space outside of the wall? Oh,
Jaffa says, terms? I mean if you can count surrender or perish terms.
they are technically terms. Go ahead, Cyril.
Response. Affirmative. I'm quite apt in defensive measures.
Excellent. Meanwhile, I'm also I am right now. I am plotting war as well as trying to figure out algebra and why this is not lining up like it should. The math should be right, but it's apparently not.
What, man?
Oh, I discovered that so the talking icons always looked a tiny bit off to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they were. The DM icon was 3 pixels off from being center in the little area.
Dear God.
It was noticeable to me, which means it'll be noticeable to somebody else. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But now I'm trying to rearrange all of them and make sure that they are, perfectly lined up how I want them, and something is apparently not right. And I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
But I got most of the icons. This is all set where I want them. And once I figure out this, it'll be much easier for the other games, because I just write down the coordinates and pump them into the other game's icons. So I guess I could work on this later, but I also noticed it now, and it's gonna bug me until I do fix it. Anyways, shall we commence our plan of attack?
Go ahead.
Would you guys care if I call it right now? My head is absolutely throbbing, and I feel like I'm about to throw up.
Oh, no, that's okay.
No, I've been trying to hold it together for this, but I've been drinking a lot of water trying to keep it down, but it's starting to kick my ass.
As Nevis and Murder start to make their way off to the enemy camp, this is where we shall end today's episode.
Also, this means I can open up next week's session with today's donation goal. Hi, baby.
All right. And for the record, Nevis is leaving his armies here at the city, at the port.
Okay.
I just wanted that cleared.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hope you feel better, Kerr.
Nah, I don't know what's going on in my head, and it just hurts, and I'm going to try to take medicine.
All right.
Just stereotypical.
Jaffa
Next
says,
time.
health before game. Get some rest and don't stress.
Health before
Unironic.
game. Why do we allow this? That put the Saturday game on hiatus forever.
So can we
Kidding,
now do
Jaffa.
the
Yeah.
stereotypical next time on Ebon Sales Exalted?
Nevis conquers. I don't know. I'm not very good at that sort of thing. Anyways, let me
Nevis
go ahead and
conquers. I was gonna say Nevis conquers and talks to people. Sark does Sark thing. Murder probably murders another person because he's kind of good at that.
But for longer.
And then we get crab dance.
No
Not
one
that
ever
I'm
called
complaining.
upon. No one ever called upon Craburus.
I wasn't
That's why.
sure what he would be able to do in this situation.
I know. I was just making a joke.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to go take some medicine and lay down.
Yeah, take
Have a
care
good
of
night.
yourself, hon.
I'm gonna try. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone had fun.
I did.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good
Okay.
night.
And he doesn't even say it back. My heart is broken.
Okay, it back.
Really, Toshime?
You're welcome.
You are very welcome, Alsong. I am glad you enjoyed it. We're only going to get better and better as we all learn the system better.
Yep.
I mean, Toshime knows basically everything, but you know.
Y'all have a good one. Bye. Bye.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for joining us for Ebon Sales Exalted. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It is one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by grabbing some packs over at Streamloots, or by simply sharing the stream around. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye.
Toshime, I gotta say I love your little bye. I know I don't do it right, but you know, you know what you do, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, the Kirby voice.